We're here to bring a new type of new show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bringing news just for you is Thursday, November 6th here in Seoul. I'm Lee Soo-jin, and this is News Generation. Joining us today is Niall.
Good morning.
Good morning. Also Fabulous with us.
So good to be here.
Good to have you. And both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. So it's Thursday, and we're officially past the halfway mark of the week, thank God. It feels like autumn just flew by this year. Now the weather is getting chillier by the day. So with the temperatures dropping, there's nothing quite like a steaming bowl of ramyeon to warm you up from the inside out. So Niall, do you often find yourself craving these instant noodles?
I mean, this really is the season. It's chillier, and then you get sick. And you know what? When I'm sick, that's my go-to food because I grew up in places where Korean markets were not there, so ramen was so precious. And my family would make like 2 packets for the 4 of us and then add rice and really try to savor the last bit of that ramyeon. So when I'm sick, it's kind of a treat, you know, the soup and then the cold weather, it warms you up. So yes, definitely these days, you guys can kind of hear I'm a little bit sticky right now, but maybe I'll have a ramen after this.
Ooh.
And eating ramen with rice is just so good.
It hits.
So what about you, Fabio?
Well, for me, it was kind of a survival dish when I was a university student. So convenient, so fast, and also delicious. Actually, I was very lucky in Spain because back in my house, I was, well, very close to an international supermarket. So I did have access to Korean instant noodles, ramyeon. And because of that, I really enjoyed it a lot. But now that I live in Korea, I feel like it's a little bit less common for me to go to ramyeon because we have so many different options that are accessible and expensive. However, I still love enjoying ramen on very specific days. Like for example, when I go to the Han River, the Hangang Park. In summer, they also open the public swimming pool. So after a swim, I always crave a nice bowl of tasty and spicy ramen.
So it looks like there isn't just a particular season when people crave ramyeon. There are also certain locations where it seems to be especially popular. It's no wonder that ramyeon's popularity only continues to grow. So to learn more about today's topic, let's take a look at the screen. Ramyeon. It's a favorite comfort food and guilty pleasure for many, especially when the weather turns cold. Its affordability and convenience make it an easy go-to whether you're at home, at work, or on the go. Over the years, ramyeon's popularity has only grown, inspiring countless localized versions and creative twists to suit every taste. Whether you like it spicy, savory, or packed with veggies, it now seems like there is a special ramyeon recipe for everyone. Today on News Generation, we're taking a closer look at ramyeon recipes with a personal twist, from unique one-of-a-kind creations to ways you can enjoy ramyeon that are both healthy and delicious, as well as sharing our very own special takes on this beloved comfort food. So as we just saw in the video, ramyeon isn't just a meal. It's comfort in a bowl, a source of creativity, as we'll explore more later, and even a touch of nostalgia for many people. And it's no surprise that both of you are fans too, but you're far from the only ones, Niall. So how popular is ramyeon among locals here in Korea?
It's a part of our soul, basically. I mean, Koreans' love for ramen is extraordinary. Last year, one Korean ate an average of 79 servings of ramyeon. You think it's a lot, but calculate it in your minds. Maybe you're there too. And this consumption ranks second in the world. Unfortunately, Vietnam takes the first spot with 81 servings per person per year. And thanks to the influence of Korean Wave, the popularity of ramyeon is now spreading beyond Korea to the rest of the world. Let's take a look at this graph. According to export-import trade statistics from Korea International Trade Association, ramyeon exports in the first half of 2025 reached 731 million USD. This is a 23.9% increase compared to the same period last year. And for the first time ever, in Korean won, it surpassed 1 trillion won in export value for the first half of a year. And the first half export figures, as you can see, have continued to hit record highs each year. In 2022, it was at 383 million USD. 2023, 446 million USD. 2024, as we mentioned, 590 million US dollars. So the popularity is definitely growing.
So these numbers are amazing, especially 79 packs per person a year sounds crazy. And it really shows how much Koreans love their ramyeon. And now it's not just Koreans enjoying it, it's gaining fans pretty much all over the world. And we now see Korean ramyeon popping up everywhere from supermarkets in Europe to convenience stores in Southeast Asia. So Fabio, what do you think sparked this global interest in ramyeon?
Well, think about it. We explore food through taste, but we adopt habits through cultural impact. And I think South Korea right now, on a global aspect, has a very strong cultural impact in a lot of, well, fields like, for example, entertainment. And because of that, even though other countries also have very inexpensive and tasty products, they don't really reach those levels of popularity because they don't have that kind of infrastructure. When we think of pop stars like BTS or Blackpink, we can see that they consume instant noodles in their daily lives or in reality shows. And when people see that kind of behavior, they are obviously influenced by it. Obviously, in social media, we also have challenges, like, for example, when we see this 불닭 spicy noodles becoming a conversation where a lot of people want to join. And I think those kind of examples are really what show us why Korean culture is really pushing forward a lot of the good things that represent Korea. In my case, for example, I would have never tried the magic of chapaguri with steak if I never watched the Oscar-winning movie Parasites. So that influence is always lingering in the heart of the people that are interested in South Korea. For example, another great thing that we have nowadays is that we have a lot of characters, like, for example, the protagonists from K-pop Demon Hunters that have become ambassadors for a lot of products that represent the country. In this case, instant noodles or ramyeon are one of the biggest beneficiaries. So even if you go to a normal convenience store in Korea, you will find that celebrities or mascots or popular characters are also pushing forward this kind of habits that a lot of people want to join.
So that's a great point. It's also fascinating to see how pop culture and media can turn something as simple as ramyeon into a global cultural symbol. And now it seems that people around the world aren't just eating ramyeon, but also making it their own. And on social media, we're seeing all kinds of ramyeon recipes. So now, is that really becoming a big trend abroad?
You know, it really is. I've personally seen many different recipes on social media using Korean ramyeon. And I'm just going to share one that I saw. And this is a mayo garlic ramyeon. So what you do is you take a pack of shinramen or any other type of ramyeon. You take an egg, you crack it open, put some minced garlic in there, put some ramyeon supu, we say, the powder into it. And you boil the ramyeon separately, kind of like pasta. And then you add it into the sauce you made. You mix it all together. And then you add more of the, I guess, the pasta water, the ramen water into that to make enough soup. And it makes this really delicious, rich, creamy type of ramyeon. And honestly, I was so obsessed with it. Maybe that year I did hit 80 packs of ramyeon that year.
This sounds tasty.
It does. I mean, first hearing the combination of mayonnaise and garlic sounds a bit intimidating, but seeing the video of it, it's rich, creamy, and it seems also pretty easy to make. So I might also have to try that myself. And I feel like there's so many different ingredients that can go into it. And another is eggs. And so eggs play a big role when it comes down to toning down spicy flavors. So are there any creative ways people abroad are using eggs in their ramen recipes, Fabio?
Well, even though a lot of people enjoy the spiciness, it is true that sometimes you need to neutralize it to, well, have a better diet type of behavior. However, I do think that there's a lot of very great and creative recipes. One that I really like is stir frying the noodles first in a pan and then adding the egg and kind of roll it and make an omelette. So that is a very nice idea. And if you don't really like this stir-fry type of style of noodles, you can also go with cup noodles. When you do cup noodles, you can just use the soup or the remaining soup if you already ate the noodles and then add some egg. Once you put it in the microwave, you get something very special because it kind of like floats, right? It creates this kind of like omelette on top of it. And that is also very similar to the kramyeon that is so special to Korea. I also myself like to try a lot of different things that I will comment later. But if you really want to neutralize the spiciness and you're not really into eggs, you also have other alternatives, like, for example, seafood or cheese.
So all of these sound incredibly delicious, and seeing the clips of it is also making me kind of hungry. And I also love how people are coming up with their own creative ways to make spicy ramen more enjoyable, and it really shows how comfort food can really evolve from culture to culture. So since you both are ramen fans yourselves, I'm curious, Fabio, do you have a personal recipe or a special way that you like to enjoy your ramen?
So when I have the cup noodles, when it's like a soupy type of broth, I like to add red or green pepper. I think it tastes very well. And then also when you stir fry some onions, you add them to the noodles, you get a very fantastic taste. But also I really enjoy, for example, adding other elements like spam or tuna. For example, this is an image of one of my latest recipes. In this case, I use 불닭, which are spicy noodles, and then I added eggs, tuna, Parmesan cheese, and I have to say, the combination is just amazing.
That does sound quite incredible. So what about you, Niall?
I love cheese personally, and I love it in most dishes, but I'm actually kind of a purist. Despite the recipe I introduced, I like to put nothing else. Some people put vegetables in it, some people put eggs, but I feel like it contaminates the purity of the ramen that it was made with. So I just eat it as it is.
Well, I'm guilty then.
Oh yes, Fabio is ruined.
Adding tomato sauces.
Sometimes I would even experiment with different sauces, like for example, carbonara sauce or tomato sauce, and even make my own recipes with rice cakes or things of the sort. So it's very interesting to see that we have different
respect
perspectives.
Contrasting views. I mean, they both sound delicious. So Fabio's take is creamy and creative, almost like a full-blown, almost fusion dish, while Niall prefers to savor the classic flavor of ramyeon. So it's amazing how one dish can inspire so many different ways to enjoy it. And we all wanted to find out what you think about this too. So we asked on the Arirang News YouTube channel, what do you love most about Korean ramyeon? So here's what the results showed. So 64% said it's the bold, spicy flavor that keeps them coming back. Another 17% enjoy the fun toppings and creative recipes people come up with, while 12% are drawn to the drama and mukbang vibes that ramen often appears in. The remaining 7% mentioned other reasons for their love of this popular dish. So the results here are quite surprising, but also kind of expected at the same time. So 64% love it for the spice. That was definitely the main draw. And I love that some people are inspired by toppings, recipes, even dramas and mukbangs. So it really shows that ramen is more than just a meal. It's a whole experience. It's also interesting to see that creativity and presentation are also playing a role, showing how people are really loving to enjoying personalizing their bowls. So coming up, we'll chat with a ramen fan, this time all the way from Indonesia, to hear her take on Korean ramen. That conversation will take place right after the break, so don't go anywhere.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search out channel Arirang News. Click Posts and cast your vote in the poll. Make a new type of news with us.
Joining us today is Francisca, Gen Z from Indonesia, who counts ramyeon as one of her favorite foods. So hi, Francisca. Thank you so much for connecting with us today.
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for having me here today.
So how does Korean ramyeon differ from instant noodles or noodle dishes in Indonesia?
Korean ramen is different due to its bold flavors, and the spicy is really kicking, and the noodle texture is more chewy, and especially the noodle texture is really different. And also, mostly Korean ramen have a thicker size. Meanwhile, in Indonesia, the noodles is like thinner, but in Korea, is a big portion and perfect portion.
All right. What ingredients or flavor combinations do you like to add to your ramen, and are there any that you would especially recommend?
I like to boil the ramen with eggs usually. I usually add 2 eggs and some sliced beef and vegetables or mushrooms. And also I like to add some sausage. And because I think these ingredients can enhance the flavor and the texture and making it really interesting to eat and fun to eat. And also I want to recommend to make the ramen with a little bit of milk and cheese, and also with a crispy fried shrimp on top, and it will taste really good.
That sounds good. And from your experience with Korean ramen, what would you say is the appeal or the unique charm that it has?
And also, you can like add a little bit of green onion because green onion have a like crispy texture, like the unique texture that makes your ramen more fun to eat.
Oh, that's also a good idea.
All right, so thank you so much for sharing the different things that we can put our ramen in with. So also thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we just heard from a ramen fan from Indonesia about how her local noodles differ from Korean ramen, what ingredients she loves adding, what makes ramen special. So it's a personal twist. The one major downside and probably the saddest of ramen has long been that it's not the healthiest option. But things are starting to shift a bit. So what are some ways we can enjoy ramen that are both tasty and healthy for us, Niall?
I would really like to not answer this question, but since it is a fried, refined carbohydrate and very high in sodium, you shouldn't eat it too often. I'm telling myself. You can also blanch the noodles ahead of time, remove excess oil, or use less of the seasoning packet to make it a bit healthier. But there are also non-fried noodles, dried noodles that could be a healthier option. But maybe overall, if you're a purist like me, just eat a little less.
That's a really practical advice. Since ramen is fried and high in sodium, it's smart not to eat it too often. And even small adjustments like boiling the noodles first to remove some oil or using less seasoning can actually make a big difference. And I actually was able to visit a ramen factory last year for a report, and I saw how instead of frying the noodles are steamed at high temperatures, and then each batch is dried by hot air. And apparently it's a lot more healthier that way. And so Fabio, with the trend towards healthier pleasures, are there other healthier options or ways people are enjoying ramen these days?
There's a lot of ways, and I think we should keep exploring because there's a lot of ways we can keep the real taste of ramen and enjoy it, but also have a healthy lifestyle. For example, when it comes to the noodles, you can substitute the chewy and delicious noodles by something like konjac noodles, which are also known as shirataki noodles. It's this type of like translucent, kind of like a very thin type of noodles, and those are pretty healthy. And also, when you make a recipe, also try to add other ingredients. Don't only rely on the carbs. Add mushroom, olive oil, garlic, onions, make it stir fry. Just experiment a little bit, and also try to use a little bit less of the powder or the sauce that comes in the package. And you end up like kind of like reducing all of the elements of the original package. But I also think we should motivate manufacturers to make more healthy or plant-based type of ramen. For example, low sodium versions or low sugar versions, so that a lot of people can enjoy the same flavor but feeling better with themselves when eating it.
So to wrap up a bit, is there any flavor that you'd like to try now? We've talked about a lot of stuff, like Niall shared the mayo garlic option. What would you like to try now?
Well, I think after doing the interview, I heard about like putting the shrimp on top of the noodles, and I think that would be a great idea. And also, if they had like a vegan type of like plant-based ramen that have low sugar and low sodium, as I said, I think that I would be a little bit more motivated to buy ramen and eat it a little bit more on a daily basis. I think people are also feeling the guilt of eating too much ramen, so maybe that would also help consumption while making people a little bit more happy. But I'm actually curious about your personal recipes because we didn't have the opportunity to ask you.
You know, the thing is, I actually love ramyeon, and I think I'm more like Niall. Like I like adding bean sprouts. And I feel like that's another healthy option because sometimes beans might sound a bit sad, but then you can kind of see like the noodles.
Yeah, kind of like in pho.
Yeah, so it seems like you can eat less of the fried noodles by adding the bean sprouts. That's kind of my thing. And I also heard, our guest talked about this too, but adding milk, mixing milk with it can kind of give the creamy flavor that you kind of talked about before too.
Yeah.
Right. So Niall, do you have anything you want to try now?
You know what? This is actually a recipe that kind of emerged from Korean younger generation, so millennials and Gen Z. If you guys know the cup noodle, that's a 육개장 사발면, and you actually, it's a soupy one. There's soup in it, but you don't add the soup, which is naughty. But you add the hot water, you mix it with the soup, and then you actually add a little bit of sesame oil, and it's kind of like a mixed fried noodle vibe, and then you add a fried egg on top. And how can you go wrong with sesame oil and fried egg? But that is kind of apparently the hip, new, younger generation's recipe. So I think I want to try that one.
So I guess I will be eating ramen today for lunch. So from spicy classics to creative fusion recipes and even healthier twists, ramyeon has proven it's more than just a quick meal. It's a cultural phenomenon that inspires creativity, comfort, and connection around the world. So whether you enjoy a traditional style, try your own personal recipes, or find ways to make it healthier, there's no denying that ramyeon continues to capture hearts everywhere. And that's what makes ramyeon so exciting. There's no right or wrong way to enjoy it. It can be tailored to any flavor, style, or culture, highlighting just how this staple Korean noodle has captured hearts globally. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of News Generation. But News Gen will be back tomorrow with more stories and discussions. A big thanks to Niall.
No problem.
And also Fabio.
I'm hungry now.
Same here. And to our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope you have the best day. We are News Generation.